Right, you'll have to excuse me because I've misplaced a lot of my PAL NTSC cartridges. It's been like 3 or 4 years since I've actually pulled out my Super Nintendo, so when I was digging, the only one I could find that I knew would fail is International Super Soccer, which is a wonderful PAL game. At the moment it's plugged into my Retro Duo, which is a US system, plugged into a US TV. Turn the thing on, and the signal, of course, this game pack is not designed for your Super Famicom or Super Nintendo. So, what I've done is installed a PAL NTSC switch for the 16-bit or the Super Nintendo part. I basically flick the switch to PAL, hit the reset button, and now it should boot the game. The only problem is my TV is NTSC, so of course it's not going to display a PAL signal. So the best thing I can do is, now that it's booted the system, is switch the system back to NTSC on the Super Nintendo, and of course it's now playing the signal. Of course, in most PAL countries, the TVs will do both signals, so you shouldn't have to flick it backwards and forwards, but this is a way around it. Of course, now I could prove the opposite quite simply by switching out the game cartridge with one that I know will fail and is in the list of failing. This is Donkey Kong Land 2. What I'm going to do is put it into PAL mode, turn the thing on, switch it to NTSC so I get the message so I can display it. And of course it comes up with, this game pack is not designed for your Super Famicom or Super Nintendo. So booting it in PAL mode on the system, it won't work. So technically, when you insert your PAL game into it in PAL mode on the Nintendo, it will boot, but putting a US game in PAL mode, it's of course failing. So that proves that this game, if you've got a PAL version, when it's in PAL, it should work the same as me putting a US version in PAL and trying to boot it. It doesn't work, but the other way around it should. So again, if I hit the reset button, because it's in NTSC mode, the game now boots up. So hopefully that will reassure you that you should be able to play both PAL and NTSC games. Should play probably about 95% of all your games. You're probably going to have a little bit of problems with stuff like Kirby Superstar, perhaps, maybe Mario RPG. For some reason, Tetris and Dr. Mario don't work. There is a way around it. It's very simple. You put in a game cartridge, you boot the game, you pull the game cartridge, you put in Dr. Mario and Tetris, and then you hit the reset button. If you try to straight boot it, it just does not work. So hopefully that will help you out.